This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Angela, Tammy, you guys ready?
I think so. Tammy?
Mr. Ritz, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Did
I
you hear me,
cannot hear
Mr.
you.
Ritz?
1 second.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. We're having issues with the audio.
Good time to remind everyone to mute your phones.
Okay. Mr. Ritz, can you speak for us?
Test, test.
Sorry, 1
No.
sec. Mr. Ritz, can we try again? Can you speak for me?
Test, test.
1 second, please. Since we're having problems with the audio, I'm going to call in. So just 1 second.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Ritz, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Perfect, I can hear you. We're good.
All right. We will get this started then. Yep. It is now 7:05, April 22nd, 2021, and I call this meeting of the Bellevue Planning Commission to order. Pursuant to the Governor's Executive Order 20-36, said meeting may be held via video conference, telephone conference, or by conferencing of other electronic means. As such, said meeting will be held by a virtual meeting, and the public may join by calling the Community Relations Department. The meeting will not be televised live, but will be played back on Bellevue's YouTube channel within a few days of the meeting. The City of Bellevue thanks you for your cooperation during these unprecedented times as we conduct this public meeting in the safest way possible for all those involved. As a reminder, please leave your mic muted unless you are speaking. I will make sure to give everyone a chance to speak. At this time, I'd like to call for a roll call.
And a roll call.
Mr. Casey? Mr. Perrin?
Here.
Ms. Kane? Present. Mr. Arney?
Present.
Mr. Ritz?
Here.
Mr. Ackley?
Here.
Mr. Hankins?
Here.
Ms. Cutsforth?
Present.
Mr. Jacobson?
Here.
This meeting will be conducted via the Open Meetings Act, copy of which can be found at the website. Getting some feedback.
Tammy might need to mute her computer, because I think it's coming through the feedback of that.
Okay.
I believe it's caller number 1, Mr. Chair, that needs to mute.
Caller number 1, I think you're on a phone. If you could mute yourself.
Isn't caller number 1 Tammy?
We'll continue on.
This isn't working.
Caller 1 is Mrs. Kane, by the way.
Is it? Okay. All right. This meeting will be conducted by the Open Meetings Act, copy of which can be found on the city's website. At this time, I would like to see if there's a motion to approve the minutes of the March 25th meeting, or if there's any comments on that.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I need to request that a correction be made in some comments that were attributed to something I said. It says in the minutes that I asked, that I stated that Brent Edgerton had contacted me and left a message saying he wanted to provide, it says in the minutes that he wanted to provide me some contacts that hadn't been shared, and that I asked Fisher Easterling if he was aware of the contacts and could he share them so they were part of the public record. What I asked, and what I said was that Brent Edgerton said he had some context to provide, and I asked if he could share that context so it was part of the public record. So if we could have that corrected.
Any other notes on that meeting? Anybody else? All right. Would anybody like to make a motion for approval of the minutes with the correction as stated?
This is Ackley. Motion to approve is written with the one change by Ms. Cuthbert.
Second by Arnie.
Second.
Motion by Ackley, second by Arnie.
Mr. Perrin,
Yes.
Ms. Kane,
Yes.
Mr. Arnie,
Yes.
Mr. Arnie,
Yes.
Mr. Ritz,
Yes.
Mr. Ackley,
Yes.
Mr. Hankins,
Yes.
Ms. Cutsworth,
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson,
Yes, and I would also note for the record that I was absent last month, but I did review the YouTube presentation of this, so I vote yes.
all voted yes, motion carried.
This time I would accept a motion to accept into record all staff reports, attachments, memos, handouts regarding each application. Staff, has there been any updates since it was uploaded online?
Nothing to add at this time, Mr. Chair.
I will make a motion to accept into the record all staff reports, attachments, memos, and handouts.
Second by Jacobson.
Motion by Cutsforth, second by Jacobson.
Who made the motion?
Cutsforth.
Mr. Perrin,
Yes.
Ms. Kane,
Yes.
Mr. Arnie,
Yes.
Mr. Ritz,
Yes.
Mr. Ackley,
Yes.
Mr. Hankins,
Yes.
Ms. Cutsworth,
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson,
Yes.
all voted yes, motion carried.
We have one item on the consent agenda tonight. I'll read it into record and then ask if there's a motion or if anybody wants to take it off consent to move it to public hearings. Item number 2, request to final plat lots 1 through 263 and outlots A through D, Alta Colina, being a platting of the south half of the northeast quarter of section 7 T13 R13E of the 6th Prime Meridian, Sarpy County, Nebraska, and approval of the Alta Colina subdivision agreement, applicant Orchard Valley LLC, general location 48th Street and Looking Glass Drive, case number S-2103-04. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Well, seeing nobody raising their hand, Mr. Chair, if I may make a motion, I'd make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented tonight.
Second by Cutsforth.
Motion by Jacobson, second by Cutsforth.
Mr. Perrin,
Yes.
Ms. Kane,
Yes.
Mr. Arnie,
Yes.
what did he,
He said yes.
Yes.
Mr. Ritz,
Yes.
Mr. Ackley,
Yes.
Mr. Hankins,
Yes.
Ms. Cutsforth,
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson,
Yes.
all voted yes, motion carried.
City, when will that go in front of the city council?
That will go in front of City Council May 4th.
May 4th.
Thank you.
Moving on to the public hearing items. I will read each one into record and then ask for an update from the applicant and from the city, then open it to public hearing. If there's a large number of people that want to speak, I reserve the right to limit each person to 5 minutes. At the end of the day, just respect the golden rule. Treat others as you wish them to be treated. Wish you to be treated. Item 3A. Request to rezone tax lots 6A1A and 9A4A1 east of right of way, located in the southwest quarter of section 26 T14N R13E of the 6th prime meridian, from BG to RG20 for the purpose of a residential group home facility. Applicant I3 LLC, general location 601 Chateau Drive, case number Z-2012-17. Staff, is there an update?
Yes, so earlier today, I received an email from the applicant, I3 LLC. They have requested to withdraw this matter. So at this point, there is no reason to have a public hearing, and we'll go ahead and move on to item 3B.
All right. Item has been withdrawn, so we're moving on to item 3B. Item 3B, request to approve the redevelopment plan for lots 1 through 6, block 130, Bellevue and vacated avenue adjacent. Applicant Ivy Properties, Inc., general location 2009 Franklin Street, case number ECD-48. Staff?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No updates to the original staff memo. We do have the applicant's attorney present if she would like to provide a summary of the application.
Certainly. So this property consists of 6 lots, two of which are a commercial building that's been vacant for a number of years, and it's definitely an older building. I believe it was built in the 1950s, and it's in poor condition. That part is not being redeveloped at this moment, but that would be the next phase after these first 2 with the townhouse style apartments. So the other 4 lots, 2 of them are comprised of parking lot right now, and 2 are just undeveloped and haven't ever been developed. So the thought is that those 2 northernmost properties would be developed into about 12 row house style apartment buildings that each have a parking garage on the first floor. And then part of the parking lot would be redone as well to continue to provide parking to the commercial building there to the south. The intention is to build the first, or begin construction on the first one this year, with the hope that it'd be completed before the end of the year, and then the second building would start after completion of the first building. And again, down the road, then hopefully develop that commercial property into something that's complementary to those townhomes, whether it's some sort of supporting retail or restaurant. At this point, that's not a part of our application. We don't have any specific plans at the moment for that. So the plans are with respect to the apartments, the row house style apartments. And so we put in our costs and estimates, and unfortunately with the way lumber prices are going already, the lumber price has almost doubled. But so the costs obviously continue to increase to do something like this, but my client's very motivated, and with the help of tax increment financing, believes he could find a way to get it done. This would help. It's not within that old town overlay, but it's very close to it and would help provide some updating to the corridor that leads to that from Franklin Street. And so we would hope that this would help complement that, the goal of the Old Town Bellevue.
Thank you very much for that. I'm going to open it up to public hearing. Is anybody in attendance that wishes to speak for or against this item on the record? All right. I'm not seeing anybody raising their hand or speaking up, so I'm going to close the public hearing and turn it over to the commissioners. Commissioners, your wishes? Well, just to say something, I live a couple blocks away from there, and I'd like to see that property redeveloped. It's a great location right next to Washington Park, where we get a lot of Bellevue events. So I'm looking forward to seeing redevelopment in that area. Mr. Arnie?
Just a quick question for staff. Parking requirements for this, is it 1.5 or 2 stalls per unit?
BGM is unique that there is no parking requirements in that zoning district.
Thank you.
Would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the application as requested.
Second.
Second by Hankins.
Funny.
Motion by Arnie. I heard second by Perrin first. So City, did we lose you?
If you give me a second, I'll do the vote.
Okay.
Motion was made by Arnie, correct?
Yes.
Second by Perrin.
Yes.
No, they can't.
Okay. Mr. Perrin,
Yes.
Ms. Kane,
First.
did Ms. Kane speak? I'll come back to her. Mr. Arnie,
Yes.
Mr. Ritz,
Yes.
Conference will now be recorded.
Mr. Ackley,
Yes.
Mr. Hankins,
Yes.
Ms. Cutsforth,
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson,
Yes.
Ms. Kane.
Yes.
Got it.
No, she can't.
All voted yes, motion carried.
You might just.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you for your time. Also, all right. City of Bellevue, the audio has failed, so we're going to keep going on. This item will go in front of the City Council on May 18th. And with all the technical issues we've had tonight, we are actually at current business,
Oh, thank goodness.
which they've texted on the text that there is no current business. So
No.
can I get a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Cuts forth.
Second by Hankins.
Motion by Cutsforth, second by Hankins.
Okay.
If you wanna, if you can just, City of Bellevue, you can just click that and maybe turn on the camera, or if you guys are done, it's all right. I even just took you off. This is so insane to me.
I thought they were in the vote.
Yeah, I think they just said,
Ms. Kane?
Okay. Mr. Perrin,
Yes.
Ms. Kane,
It says yes in the text box.
okay. Mr. Arnie,
Yes.
Mr. Ritz,
Yes.
Mr. Ackley,
Yes.
Mr. Hankins,
Yes.
Ms. Cutsforth,
Yes.
Mr. Jacobson.
Yes.
All voted yes, motion carried.
Thank you, everybody. I'll see you guys next month. And I think we're going to see each other in person next month. So
Yes, that is correct. Unless something changes.
unless something changes. Otherwise, have a good night, you guys.
You as
Thank you.
well.